nurturing growth and strengthening bonds. We've grown together, lifting not just businesses but dreams, not just communities but families. Because true success isn't measured in years, but in the lives we've touched, the opportunities we've created, and the connections we've made together.
As a Smart customer for the past 18 years, they have provided me with exceptional value and connected me to the most significant moments in my life.
For 20 years, Smart has been a pioneer in telecommunication innovation, from offering services in underserved areas to launching promotions that increase your connectivity.
They go beyond calls. They're committed to a brighter future for us all. That's why I'm proud to stand behind them.
As we look ahead, our mission to enrich your lifestyle with affordable, innovative, and cutting-edge wireless communication solutions is stronger than ever. We'll continue to connect what matters most, you. Smart, celebrating 20 years of bringing people together.
Here's how to be a part of Benny's Homecation in 3 easy steps. First, download the B-Bucks app and sign up to be eligible. It's fast and easy. Then, shop at any Benny's location or Benny's entity. Remember to choose products from our monthly Homecation jackpot categories to earn entries. Now you can earn B-Bucks with purchases made and be a part of the Benny's Homecation jackpot for a chance to win the $10,000 grand prize in December. Win the ultimate Homecation with Benny's, quality and savings.
Good evening and welcome to Plus News for Wednesday, April 16, 2025. I am Julian Cruz. The president of the Public Service Union, Dean Flowers, is sounding the alarm on what he is calling shameless self-enrichment. Yesterday, it was leaked that the cabinet secretary and the ministry CEOs would be receiving a major salary increase. The CabSec is now making $96,000 a year, which breaks down to around $8,000 a month. CEOs will also be receiving an increase and will now be making $88,000 a year, which amounts to $7,334 a month. Following the announcement of the raise, the Public Service Union fired off a lengthy press release disapproving of the salary increases. Today, the president of the PSU, Dean Flowers, spoke with the media. He said that the salary increase is disrespectful to public officers.
This came at us like a thief in the night. At no point in time did we envision this shameless act once again by the cabinet secretary on behalf of the CEO caucus and himself. What is even more damning, it doesn't even says that cabinet approved. It just says we're adjusting our salary pretty much. And I'm adjusting my salary, and also he kindly adjust the CEO's salary. That this matter was tabled before cabinet, that it came as a result of approval by the Prime Minister. Nothing to that extent, but what we find more surprising is that in our good faith negotiations with the government negotiating team led by the Deputy Prime Minister, Honorable Cordell Hyde, and his team, including the Minister of State, Honorable Chris Coy, they would have given us their undertaking and their commitment that we will embark, this administration will embark with the support and sponsorship of the IDB to undertake a comprehensive salary review and salary restructuring exercise. And so, given that undertaking, everybody's salary would have been looked at, and it is expected that everybody then would be compensated as fairly and as justly as is possible. So given that the government has given this undertaking to the PSU and the joint unions, it smacks, it's a disrespect to the entire collective bargaining process. It's a disrespect to the government negotiating team, in my view, because in essence, they're saying, we don't care what you're doing on the larger scale, we're looking after ourselves. And this is what we want, and this is what we get. And I guess this is another comeback on their end, considering that in the past, we would have, of course, called for a reversal of certain decisions where their allowances were concerned. I believe it was their telephone allowance. And it just goes to show that this special group of individuals really don't consider themselves as part and parcel of the wider public service, whereby we try to move in unison and that everybody could really win. In essence, only one small group continues to win.
Flowers went on to say that being a public officer and a public servant is about sacrifice and that lofty wages should be given in the private sector. Flowers says that the salary increase is a direct exploit of the Belizean public.
We heard that nonsense from the cabinet secretary with the utmost of respect. I see that, but we heard that nonsense from him before. And in essence, what's in my view ironic is that, and I dare say, 75% of them would have never been enjoying the compensation package that they're currently enjoying in the public sector, in the private sector. And so for a lot of them, they're on cloud nine, because they would have never, the private sector would never offer some of them, because some of them are simply not qualified to hold such prestigious positions. I know some of them were involved with consulting and running of certain corporate organizations. And some of them may have been receiving a decent salary. But I doubt, and I dare 75% of them to step forward and say, this is my pay slip that I was making in the private sector, to silence me. And this is what really hurts, because they're exploiting the situation. They're exploiting the Belizean public. They're exploiting the fact that Belizeans are keyboard warriors, that Belizeans are we sit, we gripe, we drink one beer, we smoke one weed, and we complain, and we do absolutely nothing, because we continue to believe in this peaceful, constructive revolution that was imposed on us in 1981. And so, in essence, what our press release aims to do is to inform our general membership that, look, we can continue having the water cooler conversations. We can continue sending 1,000,001 text messages to the branch chairs and the president about what we're going to do, or we can step up, step forward, and say, President, the time to make your serve notice on the government of Belize, because this kind of abuse we will not continue to tolerate.
In the Public Service Union's press release, they also listed out demands saying that the government has 21 days to respond to. One of those demands, according to Flowers, is that public officers should receive a 7.5% increase to their salaries, just as the Cabinet Secretary did. Flowers also spoke about the other demands.
Our calculation shows that the increases, especially where the CABSEC is concerned, hovers around 15%. So we're asking for half of that. We're asking for a salary adjustment of 7.5%. And we're not asking in the sense of begging for consideration. We're saying to the government of Belize, whether it was under the UDP, whether it is under the PUP, you have withheld a minimum of 7.5% salary from public officers. So we're demanding that 7.5% now. We're not about to enter into, or we're not asking to enter into negotiation for our 7.5%. We're saying, if you can give your CEO caucus and your cabinet secretary, and by extension yourself, because there is no way any minister will continue to sit and watch the CEOs earn more than them. That's foolish for any one of us to think that the ministers will not get an equivalent salary adjustment. That's foolish. Why do you think you had that chaos at Social Security the other day with the removal of the former CEO? Money issues. So the reality is there will be a domino effect whereby the ministers will also get bumped up so that the CEOs don't earn more than them. And so we're saying, look, give us what we deserve and what you've withheld from us, our 7.5%, and that's non-negotiable. We're also saying in 2024, we signed our CBA. Our CBA was made effective 2021. We've had this conversation with the Ministry of Public Service to say, you transferred persons up until 2024 at the rate of $1,200 in transfer grants. The CBA says, and the CBA is a legally binding document, and it is for public officers to decide whether they wish to sue the government for these monies with interest included, and I want to take advantage one time and say, including those persons who are indebted their income tax return, you have the right to sue with interest. So we're saying to the government, we want you to pay those retro payments from 2021 to all public officers who were transferred, that difference of $300. And as we know, there were thousands of public officers who were transferred on multiple occasions between 2021 and 2024. We're also asking that effective this transfer period, that the Ministry of Finance ensure that the financial secretary ensure that he does his job by sending out a circular to ensure that every public officer gets $1,500 if they are being transferred in accordance with the agreement in the CBA. We're saying to the government that nothing in this press release is rocket science, and that you need to go to the moon and try to figure out. So we're giving them 21 days before we get a mandate from our membership in accordance with our grievance procedure. That's the time frame that you give any head of department or CEO to respond to your correspondence. And if they don't, then you look to elevate it. And our intent now is to elevate it to the general membership to see if once again we will have the vast number of public officers playing politics or being afraid, despite being fully protected by the constitutional beliefs.
PSU President Dean Flowers also had a few choice words for public officers who he says are afraid of calling out the government for corrupt practices. According to Flowers, if more public officers would stand up for the country and make their voices heard, salary increases such as the ones now being approved for CEOs and the cabinet secretary would not be implemented.
Why do we continue to act with such greed? And it's really shameful. It's really, but again, when you're to deal with political cronies, you don't expect them to have any shame. So as far as I'm concerned, I think that it's important that I say as well, as the press release stated, you get what you negotiate for. And if this handful of people can continue to negotiate for more and more, then who can be mad at them? Who should be mad at themselves is the public officers who rather sit in their chair, sit behind their desk, peep from out the curtain to see who is protesting and who is not, continue to be divided along political lines, which does absolutely nothing for me or for them. And we really we ourselves are to blame for this kind of exploitation that is currently occurring. And if we want it to change, then it will be interesting to see what the government response to us will be, and ultimately what the 7,000 or so public officers that we rightfully represent and bargain for have to say about this matter?
The National Trade Union Congress of Belize, the NTUCB, has issued a statement in response to serious rape allegations made against a senior member of the trade union community. The umbrella organization reaffirmed its zero-tolerance policy towards sexual violence, abuse, and misconduct. According to the alleged victim, the assault occurred in the early morning hours of April 13, 2019, following persistent unwanted advances from the man, which she said began as early as 2017. She stated that she had made it clear that she was not interested in a romantic relationship and agreed to meet with him only to discuss union-related matters. However, what was supposed to be a brief work-focused conversation quickly took a turn for the worse. She alleges that after taking her to a local establishment, the man offered to drive her home, but instead stopped on the roadside between Rustic Corner and Halover, where he raped her. That was 6 years ago, but the victim is only now coming forward publicly with the matter. To date, no charges have been brought against the alleged perpetrator, and the woman says her calls for accountability have gone unanswered. In its statement, the NTUCB stressed the importance of due process and the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, while also advocating for empathy toward both the alleged victim and the accused. The NTUCB remains committed to upholding the highest standards of integrity, accountability, and respect, the release said. Quote, "We will continue to monitor this matter closely and support the affiliate union in its rightful authority to advocate for fair and equitable justice." End quote. Today, during his press conference, the president of the PSU was also asked to comment on the allegations that have been made against one of the union leaders accused of rape. Flowers stated that while the union does not condone such acts, everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Considering that this matter continues to be under investigation, it's an ongoing investigation, as I understand the commissioner or former commissioner or co-commissioner would have said, and I have to apologize because I really don't know what's his role currently. But yeah, as the co-commissioner / former commissioner would have said, that matter continues under investigation, and I don't think that it would be proper for me to comment on it, considering that the allegations are currently being looked into by, I'm pretty quite sure, the union in question, as well as by the wider umbrella organization. But considering your question on the matter, I want to make it abundantly clear that the union movement, and I believe I speak on behalf of every true trade unionist, we do not condone any such acts or behavior. I think that where the PSU is concerned, we would be the first to condemn any act of violence in any shape or form against women. We don't tolerate that. However, it is also important, however, that we recognize that the justice system presumes all individuals innocent, and they must be proven guilty, and you cannot pronounce somebody to be guilty simply based on the allegations of another person. If that was the case, then I believe women would be lining up, accusing several men of such acts and behavior. So the matter has to be investigated. The evidence have to be considered. And ultimately, if it reaches trial, an informed jury or judge will have to take an informed decision. But no person, absolutely no one, should be condemned because of allegations. That is not how the justice system works.
San Pedro residents worked together to put out fire on Barrier Reef Drive. We'll have more on that right after this break.
Wanna done hear about how you could shop online with Builders Hardware?
It's easy and convenient. Plus, you get special deals and discounts online where you not get in at the store. Just log on to shopbuildersbz.com and pay with your Visa, MasterCard, debit, or credit card. You could choose to pick up your order from the smart lock and at Builders, or Easy could deliver for you. If that was a big thing, the Builders truck could deliver for you. If you need more information about anything, you could start chat right here online with a salesperson. We're ready to help you. No need to burn gas and waste time in a traffic. Go to shopbuildersbz.com.
How is electricity sourced, transmitted, and distributed? We'll explain how we get power to you safely for your everyday use. BEL purchases most of the power you use from independent power producers in Belize and Mexico. The energy we provide to customers comes from a mix of renewable and non-renewable sources such as hydro, biomass, fossil fuel, solar, and a combination of sources from CFE. More than half of the energy produced in Belize is from renewable sources, making Belize #1 in the Caribbean and #2 in all of North and Central America. So how does this power get to your home? High voltage electricity moves for long distances from where it is generated along transmission lines that deliver to substations countrywide where the voltage is reduced. The lower voltage electricity is then transported by power lines to transformers on your neighborhood utility poles. The transformer further reduces the voltage so that electricity can make its way into your homes through your meters. How are electricity rates determined? The Public Utilities Commission, PUC, sets electricity rates on a cost recovery basis. BEL projects the amount of electricity customers will need and the cost of buying and distributing it. Together, BEL and PUC use these projections to do a full tariff review every 4 years and annual reviews. The public is informed of these proceedings, so they have a say. The rates approved by PUC reflects the total cost of BEL to serve customers divided by the entire amount of electricity used by customers. If projections are too high and result in overcollection, rates are reduced going forward. When projections are too low and result in undercollection, rates are increased in future tariff review periods to recover losses. If we buy power from producers that cost less, we can charge less. This is why we are focused on securing new, cheaper sources of energy like solar power. What other solutions do we plan to introduce soon? AMI or smart meters. These provide real-time information on consumption and empowers customers to manage their bills. Solar energy. We are looking forward to adding solar generation to our mix and offer rooftop solar PV to reduce costs and improve reliability. Electric ground transportation. We aim to convert 50% of ground transportation in Belize to electric. By learning how to read your meter, you will better understand how you consume energy and how your monthly bill is determined. Manage your energy use by conserving wherever possible. We continue to serve our customers by keeping you updated and making it easy to reach us anytime from anywhere, whether it's getting information about our programs, connecting new service, providing options to pay your electricity bill, or reporting a hazard. We are always here for you.
Welcome to the William David Fonseca Parking Facility, a modern, smart, and safe parking solution in downtown Belize City. Getting started is easy. Whether you have a prepaid parking card or prefer using coins, we've got you covered. To purchase a prepaid parking card, stop by the parking facility booth, City Hall, the Traffic Department, the E-Transit office, or the Municipal Court. Once you have your card, simply tap at the entrance and the barrier will lift. You're in. Park with confidence and enjoy your day. When you're ready to leave, tap your card at the exit and the system automatically calculates and charges your stay. It's that easy. Just tap and go. No prepaid card? No problem. Press the button at the entrance for a QR code ticket. When you return, head to the automated payment terminal, scan your ticket, choose coin as your payment option, and insert the displayed amount. After payment, you'll receive a receipt and any necessary change. Then, drive to the exit, scan your QR code, and you're on your way. Experience the future of parking today at the William David Fonseca parking facility. Stay tuned for more updates and get ready for a smarter way to park. Your Belize City Council, always about the people.
Earn V-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
On Tuesday night, a number of San Pedro town residents came together and formed a bucket brigade to help extinguish flames tearing through Barrier Reef Drive. As a result of this fire, multiple businesses and establishments such as Brunolitos and Breeze Bike Rentals were destroyed and damaged, with the cause of the fire remaining under investigation. Despite the flames, residents came together to form a bucket brigade using seawater to assist firefighters in extinguishing and minimizing the flames, and luckily, no injuries were reported. We heard from Abner Bakab, the owner of Island Emergency Services, who told them more.
I had received a call from someone that was there on the scene, a citizen, and had informed me about the fire. I didn't know about the fire until they had called me and said, I'm sure the firefighters would need some assistance because there was a lot of smoke and heavy smoke, no? So once we received that call, we immediately started to move towards the location where the fire was. Once we arrived on the scene, the fire had already been contained by the fire department. There was 2 trucks that were working. There was a lot of people helping them with a bucket brigade, trying to extinguish the fire as well. So it was a community effort between the fire department, the firefighters, and the public that were assisting them as well. No, as you know, the more hands we have on deck, the better result we would have. No. As well, the firefighters are the ones that are the forefront because they have to man the hoses and guide everyone else on how to extinguish the fire. No, so they were the ones in the forefront, and as they do have their fire engine equipment and everything, right? But as we know, they have limited resources as well. No, I'm sure here in San Pedro definitely need more manpower when it comes to more firefighters or volunteer firefighters. So I guess the fire department will reach out to people, to do some training so we can have more people, because every time it happens, we have other people assisting. No, but on the positive side of it, there was no loss of life, which is thankful. We're grateful for that. There was loss of material things. A couple of businesses did get affected when it comes to material things. So, but thankfully they were able to control and stop the fire. No? It is right in front of the Central Park. No? A couple of businesses called Brunolitos. There's other places that got affected. One of my friends had a bike rental shop there. He lost everything as well because it got damaged by the fire. So I'm sure the damages are a lot in money when we talk money-wise. No. So definitely material things that were lost. I'm sure that the relevant authorities will reach out to the people trying to help them or assist them in one way or another. Yes, well, as you know, San Pedro unites when there's an emergency, a disaster, or any type of emergency that is here. People do unite, especially for fire. We've seen it many times. People are willing to help and they help. It could be me today, tomorrow you. So everybody's united, and I'm happy for the community to come together. When you talk about the fire department, well, of course, they have limited resources, limited firefighters here on the island. I'd like to look at everything. San Pedro being a big tourist destination, we have about 20,000 people here. when you look at the numbers, you know, and you look at the expansion of San Pedro, south, north, I would definitely say personally that we need at least 3 more fire stations here, one south, one north, and one in the Street Beach area, no? Because the areas are very far. If we here in town respond to a fire around 10 miles, by the time we reach there, then the fire would have already engulfed the whole building, no? So it is important to have fire station in a close by radius where they can reach in a timely manner, no? So definitely we need more fire station, more resources to be able to control the entire island, no? So definitely we need more fire station, we need more fire trucks, we need more firefighters as well, you know. So sometimes we tend to blame the firefighters, but we have to look at the bigger picture. I think the government, the ministers, the town council should have already had a plan as how San Pedro was developing and growing to be able to put more fire stations in different areas. You know, we're in the year 2025 and we only have one fire station here in San Pedro. No, as part of the planning process, we need to put these important and vital resources available to protect property and homes, no, lives as well, no. So definitely, I think I hope that this recent fire would trigger or open the eyes of everyone that is in charge to be able to actually put the funds where they're most needed, no.
A well-known Ladyville resident who walked free from a high-profile murder case last year is back behind bars, this time for allegedly pulling a firearm on a man in Lords Bank area. 24-year-old Cameron Lozano, a laborer of Ladyville, is once again in the headlines after being charged, this time jointly with 18-year-old Zaire Anderson, for aggravated assault with a firearm. The two were arraigned in Belize City Magistrates Court on Monday following an alleged incident that left a local man fearing for his life. The charges stem from an incident reported on Sunday, April 13, 2025, when Shaken James Casimiro, 26, claimed he was threatened with a firearm not once but twice by both men in separate encounters. According to Casimiro, Anderson initially confronted him on Egbert Quilter Street while riding a bicycle and allegedly pointed a black 9mm pistol at him. Later, Casimiro said he encountered Anderson again, this time on a motorbike with Lozano seated behind him. It was then Casimiro told police that Lozano brandished a similar weapon and allegedly pulled the trigger twice, but the gun misfired. Terrified, Casimiro sped away on his bicycle while the duo fled the scene. He reported the matter to Ladyville police, triggering an investigation. A wanted bulletin was issued the same day and both men were taken into custody on April 13. Lozano and Anderson were formally charged and appeared unrepresented before a senior magistrate in court number 2. Both pleaded not guilty to the charges. Anderson faces an additional count of abetment to commit aggravated assault, accused of aiding Lozano in the alleged attack. Given the serious nature of the firearm-related offense, bail was denied and both men have been remanded to the Belize Central Prison until June 2, 2025, pending further court proceedings. This marks Lozano's second run-in with the law since he was acquitted of murder back in June 2024, a case that had drawn significant public attention. Lozano had previously been charged alongside Albert Gill for the July 2020 murder of 22-year-old Egbert Eggy Baldwin. The pair were acquitted before Justice Candice Nanton in the High Court. Now less than a year later, Lozano finds himself back in prison once again at the center of a serious criminal allegation, this time involving an alleged gunplay in broad daylight in a quiet Ladyville neighborhood. A 67-year-old retired teacher from the Lords Bank area is tonight out on bail after being formally charged in connection with a fatal traffic accident that occurred over a year ago. Edilma Aguilar was arraigned this morning in Belize City Magistrate Court on a single charge of causing death by careless conduct stemming from a traffic incident that claimed the life of a man riding a tricycle. The charge was brought after the Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, reviewed the case file and issued the instructions to the Ladyville Police to proceed with formal charges against Aguilar. The incident took place on March 16, 2024 at the junction of Lords Bank Road and the Hollywood area. According to police reports, upon arrival at the scene, officers encountered Aguilar, who identified herself as the driver of a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck involved in the crash. Lying on the ground was a Hispanic man later identified as Armando Morales, with visible injuries to the head and a yellow tricycle nearby. Initial investigations revealed that both Aguilar and Morales were reportedly traveling in the same direction toward the Hollywood area when the tricycle collided into the pickup. Morales was rushed to the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital but succumbed to his injuries. Following the fatal accident, Aguilar was served with a notice of intended prosecution and an IP, and after months of investigation and legal review, it wasn't until April 2025 that the DPP advised that Aguilar be charged with causing death by careless conduct. Appearing unrepresented before newly appointed Chief Magistrate Deborah Rogers, Aguilar was read the charge, but no plea was taken, as the matter will be dealt with on indictment in the Supreme Court. She was granted bail in the sum of $3,000 plus one surety, which she was able to meet. The case has been adjourned to June 16, 2025, when it will return to court for further proceedings. Ministry of Sustainable Development addressed the erosion of the Placencia Peninsula. That's a pressing issue, and we'll share more on it right after this break.
When done here about how you can shop online with Builders Hardware.
It's easy and convenient. Plus, you get special deals and discounts online where you not get in at the store. Just log on to shopbuildersbz.com and pay with your Visa, MasterCard, debit, or credit card. You could choose to pick up your order from the Smart Lacaneda Builders, or Easy could deliver for you. If that's a big thing, the Builders truck could deliver for you. If you need more information about anything, you could start chat right here online with a salesperson. We're ready to help you. No need to burn gas and waste time in a traffic. Go to shopbuildersbz.com.
Years ago, we built a company that is about more than just connection through technology. We've been partners in progress, empowering communities, nurturing growth, and strengthening bonds. We've grown together, lifting not just businesses, but dreams, not just communities, but families. Because true success isn't measured in years, but in the lives we've touched, the opportunities we've created, and the connections we've made together.
As a Smart customer for the past 18 years, they have provided me with exceptional value and connected me to the most significant moments in my life.
For 20 years, Smart has been a pioneer in telecommunication innovation. From offering services in underserved areas to launching promotions that increase your connectivity.
They go beyond calls. They're committed to a brighter future for us all. That's why I'm proud to stand behind them.
As we look ahead, our mission to enrich your lifestyle with affordable, innovative, and cutting-edge wireless communication solutions is stronger than ever. We'll continue to connect what matters most, you. Smart, celebrating 20 years of bringing people together.
Hello Bemapan, welcome back to the second segment in this series of the Trade License Act 2024. I'm Councillor Chris Enriquez, and today we'll be discussing your business productive footprint and how it impacts your trade license fee. Let's break it down. Your business's productive footprint is the square footage of the area where your operations are conducted. It excludes common spaces such as agricultural lands, lobbies, restrooms, stairways, parking lots, storerooms, and shared hallways, unless they are used for profit. Your business falls under an economic classification based on your business type. This classification, as well as your zone, will further determine the rate applied to your business.
Hi, I'm Lauren Milton. I'm the Evaluation Manager here at the Bemapan City Council. I know a lot of people keep wondering what we're measuring when we visit their business. So let's take a closer look at what productive footprint looks like for the different types of businesses. As you can see, we measure the area used for business purposes only. This includes retail space, dining areas, or workspaces. For example, here's how the productive footprint is calculated for a coffee shop, a supermarket, and an office space, specifically an accounting firm. Let's take a coffee shop for instance. Here we see the kitchen, the bar, and the dining areas as productive space. What's noteworthy here is that a restaurant and an ice cream parlor has similar productive space as a coffee shop. Next, we have a supermarket. For this business, we measure the entire retail floor, including aisles, checkout counters, and display areas. The storerooms and employee break areas are excluded since they are not used to generate direct sales. Lastly, we look at an accounting firm office. The productive footprint here includes the client reception, conference rooms, and workspaces where the business's services are provided. Excluded are areas like break rooms, restrooms, kitchen, and non-operational storage. As you can see, productive footprint is the usable square footage where your business is conducted. This excludes common areas like lobbies, restrooms, and parking spaces, except in cases where these areas are used for profit. Remember, productive footprint looks different for different businesses, so be sure to accurately measure your premise to ensure your fees reflect your footprint. It is important to note that Schedule 8 of the Trade Licensing Act sets fixed trade license fees for specific classifications such as traveling professionals and auto dealers.
Knowing your economic classification and accurately measuring your productive footprint isn't the only factor in your trade license process. You must also consider that there are 4 municipal zones and that your business is located in one of them. Each zone has a different guideline that will affect the rate applied to your trade license fee. As a reminder, the new Trade License Act takes effect on January 1st, 2025. Businesses without a trade license by then are subject to penalties and fees. So we encourage everyone to apply early before the deadline, December 31st, 2024. Stay tuned to our next segment where we will answer your key questions. Thank you for watching, and let's build a prosperous Belmopan together.
This is an advisory to all business operators. If you play recorded music at your business premises, such as a bar, lounge, gym, retail store, restaurant, or nightclub, then you need a copyright license from the Belizean Society of Composers, Authors, Publishers. Breach of copyright law is a serious offense. Don't run the risk or embarrassment of having your music turned off. Contact BISCAP today at 636-0564 or email info@biscap.bz, where recorded music is
Explore the great outdoors with Benny's Quality and Savings.
In a recent joint press release, the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Solid Waste Management, alongside the Ministry of Natural Resources, Petroleum and Mining, and the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, set out to address concerns about the ongoing erosion of the Placencia Peninsula. In their statement, the ministries acknowledged the worsening of erosion by human activities and the effects climate change has on coastal communities following concerns about sediment flow, disruption, and sand extraction. To combat these concerns, the ministries will implement certain steps, including engaging with community leaders to chart a path forward while enhancing communication among key regulatory agencies regarding permit applications, including those for mining, mangrove alteration, construction of piers, and other structures. According to the press release, the ministries will also enforce environmental regulations rigorously against individuals who fail to comply. It is believed that the proposed measures to be taken with collaborative effort from all stakeholders will result in the peninsula being restored. Through the Arrive Safely, Arrive Alive campaign by the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the NDACC Kaya office organized driving under the influence of drugs. It's a DUID and traffic safety checkpoints earlier today. These checkpoints, conducted in collaboration with the Transport Department, the San Ignacio Police Formation, the Belize Police Department, and the Health Education and Community Participation Bureau, sets out to raise awareness of the dangers of impaired driving alongside the promotion of safer roads nationwide. Plus News encourages drivers to avoid drinking and driving and to be careful on the roads over the upcoming Easter weekend. And that cannot be emphasized enough. Please take care on the roads during the long weekend. And that brings us to the end of our newscast for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning into Plus News. And be sure to join us right back here again tomorrow evening when we bring you all the latest happenings from around the country. Until then, have a safe and pleasant evening. We'll see you back here again next time. God bless.